Black artists struggle because you don't give a fuck about branding. I'm sorry. You maybe aren't skilled in strategy. Let me be nice. But as a result, a lot of you wonder why things don't work when as a collective, you all embody the archetype of African American nigga. You're swaggy, you're a bad bitch, or you're alternative. And it's like, there's so much that we can be, but we don't know how to tap into it. I promise you I love you and I'm being nice. Today we're going to talk about identity and archetypes. I was watching this video from The King's Hand and it's called If You See the Pattern, It Will Change the Way You Operate. And he said something that I used to also believe, which is that the only reason you can find or have a strong enough identity is because you have an enemy. I know that the passion to create comes from something that pushed you there. Whether it was an experience, something you saw was wrong, something you know that people need. That is what creates your identity and ultimately should create your archetype. And why I think we should lean into archetype and branding is because that is what the human brain registers. They're looking at you and they understand the archetype of an African American Black culture person. And again, that's stifling y'all because you're not standing out. You have to know why you are doing this in the first place and really tap into your why. Why are you doing this? Let me use me as an example. When I got into this music shit, my enemy was the industry. And there was a certain way I was going about that fight. I was going to infiltrate the system and dilute it from within. If I wanted to brand the infiltration part of me, I would look at pre-existing people groups and use that to push my message out into the world. For example, I would look at maybe the talented 10th, civil rights lawyers, student sit-ins. That's what my signal would be around if I wanted to promote that. Once I found out shit don't work like that, my passion still exists, but the enemy changed. The enemy became the thought pattern within the artists themselves, which birthed this platform and created a particular identity of a fighter type that's more direct. For this platform, I would lean into the Black preachers, prophets, freedom school teachers, build my symbolism around that. The enemy is not usually a person, but it's an energy. For example, the enemy of chaos. Let's look at No Limit. They took a lack of structure and they turned it into being a type of builder and or fighter that was for discipline. They paralleled that in their branding to the people group of military, rank, order, loyalty, uniform, no limit soldiers. For somebody like Kanye West, his enemy was invisibility. His fighter type was about making an image, and where he pulled from the people group of the fashion world, where he became the rapper designer, the fashion forward era builder. Nipsey Hussle, neighborhood Nip. His enemy was economic abandonment and neighborhood extraction, and he became the fighter type of the neighborhood sovereignty builder, pulling from the people group of Black neighborhood entrepreneurs. The symbolism was marathon, the storefront, the block, ownership language. Remember why you're doing this. Identify the enemy, turn that enemy into an energy, figure out the way that you're going to go about that fight. Find real people groups who also had that kind of fight, and or find archetypes that the human already identifies as that kind of fighter. Insert that symbolism in everything that you do.